I'm going to share with you my memory of the very, very thing, the exact thing that I did that guaranteed that I was on my journey of weight regain. Because I can. I'm normal now. I'm just normal. I can eat like normal people. If only I'd known what a massive mistake that was. I'd regained 3 stone, and my goodness, that sent me over the edge. I was not going to let this happen. Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Keep It Off podcast with me, Mel Harris. Today, I'm going to share something with you because it's very personal to me, but it's something that every single person I speak to is terrified of or is already going through, and that's weight regain. I've mentioned before that 76% of people, particularly those that have had weight loss surgery, will regain their weight. I've also done an entire episode with Shaw Summers, wonderful surgeon and metabolic expert, about how when you come off of weight loss medications and injections, your appetite will come back much stronger than before, 4 times stronger than before, and you will regain weight. So it is something that we all face, regardless of how we've lost our weight. For those of you that know me will know I blame everything on the weight loss industry and the diet industry. But I'm going to share with you my memory of the very, very thing, the exact thing that I did that guaranteed that I was on my journey of weight regain. I didn't know it at the time, but that was the moment it was absolutely guaranteed that I was going to start putting weight back on. It was at a time when I was out for dinner, and I was with my family this time because it was one of my nephew's birthdays, and at the end of the meal there was a birthday cake brought to the table, and I held out my plate for my piece of birthday cake. My brother basically said, "What are you doing?" And I said, "I'm having a bit of birthday cake," and I was proud as punch. And he said, "Why?" And I said, "Because I can. I'm normal now. I'm just normal. I can eat like normal people." And so I had that piece of birthday cake. If only I'd known what a massive mistake that was. Not the birthday cake, the thoughts in my head. Because I'd lost weight and I was now a normal size, I put in inverted commas, I was normal. In my mind, normal means I'm someone who doesn't have a weight issue anymore, can eat what they want, and can live life to the full. That was my idea of normal, but that's not the case. It's a bit like saying, when an alcoholic, always an alcoholic. Well, when you are an obese person, you will always have the propensity to become obese again. And the fact that I told myself, I'm normal, was quite exciting at the time. What a revelation. I made it. I'm here. And so I behaved in a way that reflected my thoughts. And the next time I went out for dinner, I had another piece of cake or a dessert. The second big mistake, really, and it's not something I could have controlled in any way, was that when I did have that first piece of birthday cake, I didn't gain an ounce. I weighed myself the next day, nothing had happened, the scales didn't move, and I just proved my point. I proved to myself that, see, I can eat like a normal person. But you know what I'm going to say, don't you? This became my norm again. And so from being someone who had completely abstained throughout my journey from any sweets or desserts or chocolates or pastries or any of that, I was now letting it creep back into my diet with full permission from me, because I decided I was, in my inverted commas, normal. I'm sharing this with you because your story might not be identical to mine. It probably won't be. But there will be a point on your journey where you allow yourself, you give yourself permission to go backwards in terms of your eating patterns and behavior. And that is the moment where your journey takes a different turn, a different trajectory. And instead of leading you down the path of keeping your weight off for life, it will do what it did to me, and it will take you down the path of regain. It felt like within no time at all, but obviously it does take time to put weight on. I'd regained 3 stone. And my goodness, that sent me over the edge. But it sent me over the edge to a place of absolute determination that I was not going to let this happen. And that was also the point where I started to study, and I got qualified in health and nutrition, and I set up the keto method. But that was my turning point for me. But if that's not a turning point in a positive way for somebody else, for any of you listening, then work with me to find out how you can turn it into a positive. What can you do to turn back time, lose the weight you've regained, and then keep it off forever? Ultimately, what I want you to do is be realistic about where you are, where you want to be, and what you could possibly do without even realizing that could screw that up for you. I'm always here. I'm always ready to support and help. Let me know. Let me have some comments. Contact me through the WhatsApp or through the website, however is easier and better for you. All my social media is in the links. ketomethod.com is where you'll find me on the website. I hope that this is just a taster of how you can keep your weight off for life. I'm Mel Harris. I've loved being here with you today. I'll see you next time.